Hello, I'm Rob, and tonight I'm going to be running the Root RPG, which is based off of the board game Root, Woodland game of might and right. It's about the conflict between different factions of woodland creatures, cats, birds, mice, rabbits, foxes, and more. The players are going to be taking on the roles of vagabonds, who are not exactly tied to any faction. They're denizens of the woodland who have been cast out of civilised society, whether by their own choice or by exile, and they're going to be adventuring through the woodlands, carrying out jobs, maybe tipping the scales in the conflict between the two major factions in the game, which are the Irie dynasties and the Marquisate. So this is being run as part of the Gauntlet. You can find their website at gauntlet-rpg.com. We're an online role-playing community with members from across the world. You can find their forums at the web address I mentioned. We also have a podcast network, a monthly e-zine called Codex with different small rule sets and hacks for different games, and different materials for games to use in your own sessions. And there is also the Gauntlet Hangouts, for which this game was organized. So I use he, him pronouns. I forgot to mention that. And I'm going to ask the players now to introduce themselves and their pronouns. And hold off on introducing the characters yet, but just introduce yourselves and your pronouns. Starting with Leandro.
Hi, name is Leandro. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm looking forward for some adventures with my animal buddies. Yeah, looking forward to that.
Okay, Ari.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ari, he, him, and ready to give this game a shot.
I'm Jeremiah, he, him as well, and I'm also excited to see how this goes.
I'm Philip. I use he, him. This is actually my first Gauntlet online game. I've played with Gauntlet players in person, but never online.
All right. So as our players, we've had a brief conversation before starting the stream about the tone that we're looking for in this game. The consensus was light-hearted adventure, maybe a little dark in it. Was one of the players' interest, but we're not going to go Watership Down. We're going to try and keep it more the Robin Hood animated movie style. So in addition to that, we have a number of safety tools that we're going to be using. We first have lines and veils. I've made a lines and veils tab in the character keeper for the players to put their lines and veils in. Lines being elements which they don't want to see in the game at all. Veils, which are things that can be implied or happen off screen, but they don't want to see it explicitly shown. We also have the X card. So if something comes up in the game at any time that makes anyone uncomfortable for some reason, they can veto that content by signaling X with their arms or calling out X card out loud. And we'll pause the scene, and I might ask what content specifically is being vetoed if it's unclear, but we won't ask why it's being excarded. We'll just rewind the scene a bit and start over with the content removed. Finally, we have an open door policy. So if for any reason people feel the need to step away, if there's an emergency, they're not feeling well, or they just need a quick break, they can let us know and we'll accommodate them. So with all that out of the way, I'm going to have the players introduce their characters. I'll go the opposite direction this time. I'll start with Philip.
All right, I'm playing Jeem. Jeem is some green. You would recognize him as a lizard of some sort, not a creature that is native of the woodlands. He carries a large, interesting sword. Has seen a lot of what looks like violence, and just has, for people that have journeyed with him for any length of time, just talks briefly about home and just the fact that he could never go back.
Okay. And do you want to discuss the reason why you left your home, or do you want to leave that as a question for later?
I'll just say it wasn't my decision.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on then to Jeremiah.
So I'm playing Oxley, who is a mouse, who is a thief. And Oxley went on the run from the law. I'm not quite sure why yet, so maybe that'll come up. But he's helped out the Erie dynasty a bit, but isn't really aligned with anyone that much. And he's kind of fidgety and small and like with brown fur, and likes to talk really fast.
All right. We'll come back to what the crime is that you're on the run for a bit later. But let's move on to Ari.
Yeah, so I'm playing Brin. Brin is a muskrat with a smoking pipe, very polite character when you first meet him. He left the ice trap clearing when... actually, let me look at that map real quick. I might have to update that. I need a place where the marquisate is prominent. Where is that? With the cat. There we go. Oakenhold. I'll pick that one. He left Oakenhold when the marquisate's paws tightened their grips around it, and he left behind his good friend there to wander. That's his main drive, is to wander and kind of explore. He didn't want to be involved with all this faction stuff.
Sorry, you got a bit quiet at the end there.
Yeah, he didn't want to get involved with the big faction stuff, but he may get embroiled in that, whether he likes that or not.
Okay. And Leandro.
Hi, my character's name is Morning Song. They them pronouns. They are using the playbook The Tinker, which means they're a creator, a tinkerer, artificer, inventor, unrecognized genius in their own time, which most of the woodland probably looks down on, because they're also a bird. They're a big hooded raven who is just, you know how it is when people just seem like they don't talk fast enough or clearly enough, and there's a point where like you just don't bother trying to you don't bother trying to catch them up. They call Sundell clearing their home, but they became a vagabond because they were thrown out for what they deemed were crazy ideas but really, it's just common sense. And look, I'd have multiple citations on why it'd be common sense, but it's just too much work. You just need to catch up. Hence why the denizens don't really like them that much.
Any crazy ideas in particular that you feel like mentioning?
Me as a player don't know them quite clearly, but no. So my defense of that is that, like, look, they're just common sense ideas, and you wouldn't be able to keep up. But I myself have not actually thought of any crazy ideas. I mean, we could always do with more rivers. All that woodland it's too hard to traverse. It just makes sense. Rivers are traversable. They cut through all that wood. It's fine, And people are like, that's ridiculous. It's too much work, and all that work would be worth it.
All right. Now, we left off one part of character creation before we started, which is making connections between the characters. So each of the characters has two different types of connection that they can form with the other PCs, which also have moves attached to them. So, Leandro, who are your connections? Or actually, read out your connections, and we'll see who feels like they are a good fit for it.
So I just realized we had to do this, and I made a character that seems no one would want to be connected with. But for the professional one, Blank and I have been working together well for a while. We read each other's moves easily. And the family one is Blank and I had each other's back when we were run out of a clearing because our natures got out of hand. So I'd offer that up to whoever would be interested in any of those.
I might be interested in that second one.
Ooh, yeah. Because your nature is like a loner type, right?
Yeah, and I'm kind of constantly on the move, going from place to place. So it would make sense that we bumped into each other and we were both driven out.
Yeah, I think I get you keeping to yourself. It makes sense, and yeah, there's a respect there.
So what do I need to mark down? Anything? Nothing.
No, I marked that down. You don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah. What happens is so, like I said, there are moves connected to each of the connection types. For that particular one, so when you morning, when you help them fulfill their nature, you both clear your exhaustion track.
All right, so I consider Brin family. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I think maybe I would be for the first one that we've been working together for a while. I think it would make sense that maybe you being a tinker and I being a thief, that maybe I steal material for you and kind of help you out. That kind of stuff.
In return, like, I probably would make something nifty or get your equipment like fixed up. It's a quid pro quo. That makes sense. Cool.
And would you read out the move for that?
Oh, yeah. So if I share information with Oxley after reading a tense situation, which I guess that's a basic move, both of us are going to benefit from the +1 for acting on the answers. If I help them while they're attempting to be roguish, which makes sense for a thief, I gain choices on the help mood as if I'd marked 2 exhaustion when I mark 1. So that's very helpful. It's good for helping folks.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about Brin's connections.
Okay. Let's see. Where is that listed? There it is. There's 2 of them. One is I felt betrayed by something. Blank once did it to me. I won't easily trust them ever again. And The other one is protector. I did something that would have gotten me the enmity of a Woodland faction. If blank hadn't covered for me, what did I do? Why and how did they protect me? Regardless, I feel indebted to them. It's kind of a long one there. Maybe we start with the first one. Anybody feel betrayed by something I did? Anybody have a connection with the Marquisate?
I do. So
could be something along those lines if you wanted to push that.
Yeah, I'm totally good with that. I see Jeem more as he doesn't really have a dog in the fight, so he has no problems going from one side to another. He has his own systems. So yeah, I could definitely see that.
So maybe at that particular point during your character's career, you were aligned temporarily with Marquisate, and something I did may have offended your sense of honor. It's not a matter of like that particular faction. It's just the fact that I did it at that particular time.
Oh, absolutely. Just a cultural difference would do it.
Okay.
Yep.
I have no idea what I did. Do we want to just leave that for now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's maybe we both know what you did.
It'll come up later. Okay.
Yep.
And for the second one, so that's was that Jeem I put for that one?
Jeem. Yep. Jeem.
All right. I'll fill that in a moment. And then for the second one, I guess I should read it again. It was kind of long. I did something that would have gotten me the enmity of a Woodland faction. If blank hadn't covered for me, what did I do, and why and how did they protect me? Who covered for me when I did something bad to Woodland faction?
I guess that depends on the faction.
Yeah, we could do it as well, unless you want to. You could spread it around, or we could just say, that might have been part of it.
So both of them for you?
Potentially, and anybody else wants, unless others want to jump in.
Yeah, nobody's getting their hair blown back by that one, so I'll leave it with you. It's the second one.
Yeah.
So if you hadn't covered for me, I would have. So I did this thing, it upset you, but you also covered for me, which is kind of an interesting situation. How did you protect me? That's a question there.
I took responsibility for it because it might have gotten you kicked out, but I didn't care. So I took it and I basically just walked away.
Oh, interesting. Complex relationship. I like it.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. Jeem.
I've got two. The first one is, I once protected blank from a mortal blow during a fight, and I would do it again. Why? The second one is, blank and I together helped a faction take control of a clearing and share responsibility for it. So it sounds both of which are either adventuring together or, we're fighting together. Do we want to? Is there somebody that has that connection or might want to jump in there? Who could I have protected from a mortal blow? Is that something that Leandro, maybe Morning would he have been in a position to been attacked and not necessarily would that be in character?
Yeah, they seem they're insufferable enough that people would want to try to kill them. I think the question is, why would you do it again? Of the two options, honestly, I'm probably more interested in the second one.
Why would I do it again?
Oh no, the help the faction take control.
Oh yeah, I'm good with that. Now the question is, I have an association with the Marquisate, We're with Erie could potentially have been a denizens faction, or denizens. Or, I mean, is that?
Yeah, because I think you mentioned that Jeem doesn't have a dog in the fight.
Yep.
Technically, Morning doesn't as well. It's only because they're Raven. They grew up working with the Erie Dynasty that they have the prestige with them. But other than that, they'll help whoever will let them leave them at peace or help them with their work. So like I could see like there was a point where like, you know, we had to work to take control of the clearing, but it could be like there was a moment where like Morning would be. Oh, go ahead.
Let me actually talk about the mechanic. Each of us marked 2 prestige with the faction that we helped, and marked 2 notoriety with the faction that you harmed. So we probably helped the Erie, and we harmed the denizens. And if we're spotted together, any prestige or notoriety gains are doubled.
Poor denizens. I'm down for that.
Okay.
Spread out your prestige with another faction.
Yeah, I think so. So so it gives me 2 more with Erie, and then -2 with the -3 with the denizens now. So, is there somebody out there that wanted, potentially could have taken that I would have protected from a mortal blow?
Yeah, I think I'll jump in there with Oxley. Oxley's a pretty small and not that strong, so it makes sense that he'd need protection. And
okay, and the mechanic for there is when they're in reach, mark exhaustion to take a blow meant for them. If you do, you take an ongoing +1 for weapon moves for the rest of the scene. So if I take a blow that was meant for you, I'm advantage for the remainder of the scene. So yeah, I think that works. All right, those are my 2.
All right. And Oxley.
all right, so my first one is I stole something important, something needed or craved for blank. I proved my worth to them. And the second one is blank and I once met and pulled off a mad, impossible stunt together. What did we do and why? So if that jumps out to anybody for any of those 2.
I was gonna jump at the first one, then I realized it's the same. We get the same mechanic anyway, so that would be.
Do you mind reading that first one again?
Yeah, I stole something important, something needed or craved for blank. I proved my worth to them. So I stole something for them.
I'd like that first one if no one else is going to take it.
Cool. Do you have any idea what that could be at the moment, or
I would like it. I would like it to be something belonging to the Marcus 8. Something that they really, something very important to them. It could be it would have to be an object, or it could be information. How about the plans to one of their fortifications?
I think that would be cool.
And then we sold that to the Erie, perhaps. That could be cool.
Yeah, and perhaps that's how I got the prestige for the Erie.
Yeah, that works.
All right, for the friend one, where I once met and pulled an impossible stunt together.
I think that might tie into the fact that I helped you from a mortal blow. Okay. We could have done. What could we have done together that would have been stupid or impossible? I guess it would kind of be up to you, because I pretty much would go with whatever the situation is.
I'm not totally sure at the moment.
Okay. Let's see. Let's hold off an impossible stunt together. it could have been when I first got here. My interesting and unique accoutrement or equipment was taken, and I decided that I was going to go get it back, and for some reason we got involved with that together. And
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
yeah. So so I either I let you out of the jail cell to help me steal my stuff, or something along those lines that can come up over that we can come up with specifics or change it around. Yeah, so something like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So we're just gonna jump right in. So you guys are you've been traveling for a bit together, and you have now come to the clearing of Milltown, which is a mostly mouse community, and it's currently governed by the denizens of that clearing. So now the Marquisate or the Irie have control there right now. I'm gonna ask.
Well, that lasted us how long? 30 minutes?
A lot longer than the first time.
Yeah, surprisingly longer.
Yeah.
Which was amazing.
I'll be right back. I can hear. I just need to stand up for a second.
No worries. Oh, heard you again for a bit. Heard an oh no.
Did I miss anything, or did Rob end up in exactly the same position again? Oh, never mind.
Oh, yeah. He did. I think he moved just a slight bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, an oh no was heard. Right. When I saw the aesthetic for this game, I really didn't expect reading into the lore of it. War and battles between factions. Really didn't expect that.
I think I remembered the thing that I was trying to remember. It reminds me kind of I just forgot it again. Amazing.
Not very.
So the Secret of Nim.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of dark undertones to it while still retaining that cartoon animal kind of visual style.
Yeah.
Still innocence.
Yeah, they're using the sort of softer and more approachable surface as sort of a cipher for darker things that maybe they use the real thing, it would be a little bit too much, but using these characters, it's easier to look at that perspective without being overwhelmed.
And even the scale of the conflicts is a lot smaller. It's more skirmishy than it is 50,000 troops on each side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I agree. It's surprisingly war-oriented. It's really a wartime game. from what
Yeah,
I can tell.
there's a weapon skill that's just straight up murder.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
quite a few. There's quite a few fighting skills in there.
Yeah.
Does make me interested in checking out that board game because it looks really nice.
Uh-huh.
It's a well-known asymmetric game because every faction has a different win condition and they play differently.
That's cool.
So,
That's pretty
yes.
cool.
So the Erie start with a lot of things, but they're contracting, and the Marquisat, easily acquire things. The vagabond is basically one character that moves around, and each of them are playing a slightly different game, and you could be doing great and then lose. So because other people are playing differently. It's kind of like the new game Dune that just came out, where everybody has their own, way of playing the game.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that was a smart decision on their part to focus in on the vagabonds as the playable characters and leave the other ones as sort of like big picture stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps the game focused. Leandro, are you in touch with Rob? I got the feeling that the two of you are like chatting or something, or
no. Well, the thing is, there's been problems with like invites to like Google Hangouts chats. I think I'm the only one who got the invite that he sent out. Are any of you in Google Hangouts?
I got the invite in my email. That's where I saw it. I think that's where I
didn't
saw
get an
it.
invite.
No.
Yeah. There's been problems with that. I've had problems with some of my games as well. So yeah, I'm the only one in that chat.
Oh shit! Okay.
So that's why he had to send out another one in Slack and then another email. That's problem with Google Hangouts at the moment. I've sent him a message anyway.
Yeah, for video audio, I use Zoom, or I've been in a bunch of Zoom games. They've worked pretty flawlessly so far, anyway.
Zoom's great, but the thing is, you need to subscribe to record more than 40 minutes. It's a $15 monthly subscription. Okay,
that's not terrible, but it's not that economical either if you're just running a few games at a time.
Yeah, I know there are some folks who have just signed up to Zoom just to offer it to folks, but unless you're doing it a lot, like some of the busier GMs in the Gauntlet, it's just you'll take a hit for sure.
Yeah.
Rob said he'll just be rejoining now in a sec.
I just got into the Google Hangouts chat.
Nice.
Okay. I don't know if that's actually going to help at all, but
You guys let me know if my connection gets real wonky. I'm operating in hotel wireless right now, so it can be temperamental.
Oh gosh,
it seemed good so far. So I think
cool.
So keeps up.
I'm out in the Bay Area for Big Bad Con.
Ooh, yeah, I heard a lot of people are off there. What are you doing for the? Do you mind asking? What have you signed up so far?
I've actually got a bunch from 10 candles to what's the let me actually pull up my, I think we have a couple of minutes, so I will pull up my list. One of the things I will say about the con is they've done a pretty good job of not overselling the event, so everybody can pretty much get a gaming slot for 10 or 12 slots for the whole con. So Murderous Ghosts, I'm playing 13th Age. Let's see, Red Carnations on a Black Grave. Let's see.
Ooh, Red Carnation. You really want to see how that
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was pretty impressed with their with their convention offerings. They're primarily PBTA games. They're third party games, smaller games, things like that. They have some D&D Adventurers League stuff like that, but also a bunch of smaller ones, which they kind of really seem to be focusing on. So Dungeon World, Noir World, a little game called Sword Loser, which is basically a little Kickstarter game of social game.
I heard that about that one. That's Jackson Tigu. Is that his?
Yeah. Yep.
Fellow. Yeah.
So it should be interesting. This is my first year here. First West Coast con. So
nice.
Yeah. Oh, and the last one was Top Secret New World Order. So
nice. Does that start today or is it starting tomorrow?
Primarily the games start tomorrow. There are a couple of games that start late this afternoon. I've got 2 tonight. The first one, I think, the con kicks off at 6 p.m. My first game is 7 to 9. I have 2 2-hour games, 7 to 9, and then
cool. You're packing in the schedule.
I figured I was here in the hotel room, so I might as well.
Might as well, yeah. What else are you gonna do?
That's a lot of games over a weekend.
Oh yeah, but they primarily tend to be 2, 3, 4-hour slots compared to some cons where you go and everything's 5 and 6 hours. So they tend to be smaller, which is nice.
Hello, welcome back.
Okay, where did I freeze?
You were gonna ask someone a question.
Like that. You froze like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was asking Leandro. I'm going to change my question because I've had time to rethink it now. What resource is Milltown known for?
Let's see. They're on the river. I think I've just decided that no, actually I'll make up my mind there later because I need to decide where Morning's workshop is situated. And actually for the purpose, because we're only 2 shots, it's probably in Milltown, so Morning would know the kind of stuff they have. I think Milltown, because let's be literal, it's a town with a mill. They're already on the river. I think they're very much trading food. And this is where I betray my lack of knowledge of what mills actually do. I think it's a lot of grain. I think that's what mills do. I should be embarrassed, but yeah, I think it's mostly food. Someone who knows more can correct me. I see someone unmuting there.
I think they turn wheat into flour.
Okay, there we go. There. Thanks for backing me up. Yeah, I think Milltown definitely trades in food. That took too long to figure out. I'm sorry.
Okay. And okay, so let me just check. Let's go with Oxley. What signs remain of what signs remain that indicate this used to be ruled by the Irie dynasties?
I think there's lots of fields around Milltown where they have the wheat that they grow, and I think in like the conflict of it being taken over, just there's a huge amount of destruction to the fields, and now there's just big swaths of burned down wheat, just kind of out there around the river.
So how does that what I mean? How does that indicate the Irie used to rule here?
I'm not totally sure.
I can jump in a little bit. When the Irie ruled here, because they're birds, they ate the corn, they ate the wheat, they ate the products directly out of the fields and off the trees because they would eat it like that. The rest of the Woodlands communities don't eat like that, have to grind it down to make bread and other substances. So when the Irie were here, they kind of ate the substances, and when other groups came in, they actually turned it into something that's a little bit more useful. So, it got when the Irie were here, it was all about getting the materials, and now that they're there, it's all about milling them and turning them into other things. So, throw that out.
Okay. And I'll ask. Okay, you kind of already answered that one. Okay, so I'll just ask. Oh, I'm so on. Okay. I'll ask Brin. What brought the group to this clearing?
Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself. To Milltown, what brought us there?
Yep.
I would say, from my perspective, there were people in trouble there. As I understand the situation now, there's less grain available for the populace because the Irie has kind of appropriated it, the production of it. So how about this? There's what was I called? Weevils. There's a weevil infestation in the remaining amount of grain and bread that's supplied for the people, and that's run out, and the Irie is not replenishing that lost stock. So the people who are living there are having a lot of trouble being fed. That's what brought us here. We want to kind of fix that problem.
Okay. So how are you going to go about that then? What's the plan to try and help?
It's probably a number of options. Anyone can chime in on this. I'm just going to answer it directly. We could take care of the weevil problem. We could force the hand of the Irie to give back a large supply of bread back to the people. We could assist directly with production of the grain to make bread ourselves. That's 3. Anybody else got ideas? That's the 3 ideas I've got.
Okay. So when you say weevils, are we talking like regular sized weevils, or like are we talking like anthropomorphized?
Yeah, I don't know how big these our characters are in scale. We're quite diminutive, obviously. So maybe like if I read that in the rules correctly, like a regular bear is a huge thing, right? But a bear species playable character would be like, we're all kind of close to the same size, right? So these would be natural weevils, mere weevils, which would be our size maybe, or about half our size. Pretty big.
Okay. So there is like a commotion in the town square as you come in. There's a group of villagers that are gathered. The village head woman, a mouse with sort of grey, more grey now than brown fur, and a sort of sort of spotty ears. Like she's got sort of lumps missing out of a couple of her, a couple of bits of her ears, and she just got a very sort of very natural clothes, like just made from natural materials like wool and such. And she's at the head of these villagers, and there's a sort of a small group of Marquisette's soldiers that are there. And the villagers are kind of shouting at them to go away. The Marquisette soldiers that are like just standing patiently waiting for the civilians to quiet down. The head woman is also trying to bring some order. What do you do?
When I try to listen in to see what the problem is, if I need to sneak closer to do that, I'm fine to do that. But if we can just catch it from afar, that's fine too.
All we ask is that you consider the offer. The Marquisette can offer you supplies. We can offer you extra equipment to improve the efficiency of your operations. You need not starve. If you swear fealty to the Marquis and to the empire we serve, then you'll enjoy great prosperity. And from the back, there's like an old hawk that just sort of grumbles loudly. Well, we don't need you upstarts coming in here. This is good. This is good old Irie territory. If we're gonna get anybody's support, it should be them. And just about everybody in the village turns and yells at him now.
Since I have a slight background with Marquisette, can I try to use the figure someone out to see the speaker for the Marquisette, what basically what he's what his deal is? Is he giving a genuine offer, or is he looking for an excuse to crack down on the village?
Yeah, you can certainly try and figure someone out. So yeah, roll plus charm.
All right. First time I'm using this tool, so roll for the. So I use the roll for the party, right?
Yeah.
And I put in 2 for D10 or D6. And I use my charm. Do I just add it after the fact, or?
You don't need to just roll the dice and then work out the total from what you see.
Okay. All right, so I got a 3 and a 4, so that's 7. Plus 1 for charm is an 8. So
Okay.
on a 7 to 9, let's see. I can basically ask what one question, which is let's see. How is the speaker for the Marquisate really feeling?
So you get the impression that the way from the way that this cat is talking, he's got this sort of patient, sort of condescending, patient tone, like, I am trying to help you. So you get the feeling, yes, he believes that the Marquisate coming in here and taking over would ultimately be good for the townsfolk.
Okay, so a soldier that's doing his job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess I say to the group, I go, I think it's a genuine offer. If the town is willing to do it.
Do we really need to get involved in politics right now?
Food for people is politics.
Oh yeah, I guess the mantra is true. Everything is political.
I don't trust these Marquisate to be coming in and doing a good job. Maybe he thinks he will, but that won't be how it is. I mean, this town's big problem is the food production's going bad because of the weevils. I mean, are they even going to take care of that, or do they just want to come in and kind of claim it for their own without doing the work?
Probably the latter.
But they're going to claim it for their own regardless. We just want to make sure that people eat.
Well then, why don't we just, I don't know, maybe we can solve their food problem for them, and then they'll pledge their loyalty to us or something. We don't have to deal with empires or whatever.
I know that I can slay many, many weevils.
And surely, whatever their mill is doing, I can probably do it better.
Yeah, I'd rather solve their problem for them and keep the Marquisate out.
I'm in agreement. I think that's what we should do.
I'll go with you.
Right, well, I'm not talking to the head cat lady here, so not it.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of trouble with the Marquisate. I'm probably keeping my head down.
I'm perfectly willing to talk to them, but you guys have known what usually happens when I do that.
What if we kind of infiltrate the kind of people watching and start up a riot, just to get them kicked out for now?
I nod approvingly to that idea.
I can blend in.
I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, it sounds like you want to do something. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of walk up, get in the midst of the crowd. I'm just going to start chanting. No Marquisette, no Marquisette. That's the best I can come up with at the time.
Okay.
Does anybody else join in?
I feel like you're trying to do something here that would require a move. I'm just trying to think what the move would be. Trick or persuade, maybe? Either way, you're rolling with cunning if you're tricking them, you're rolling charm if you're persuading.
I'm trying to persuade the crowd.
Promising them anything, so I think you're more trying to trick them into going along with you.
All right. That's 9 plus. Where's my character at? 9 plus. Plus 1, so that's a 10.
Okay. So on a hit, they take the bait and do what you want. So yeah, especially the hawk.
Hold on. Sorry, that's plus 0. I thought it was cunning, but it's charm. So it's a 9.
Okay. So a 7 to 9, they can instead choose one. I don't think they're going to instead choose one. I think they're just going to, especially the hawk guy that was speaking earlier. He starts chiming in as well, and it's something that all of them kind of agree on. So they're like, no Marquisette, no Marquisette, and the Marquisette soldiers and the Marquisette captain sighs and calls over the crowd. You have 1 week to consider the offer. We'll come back to hear what you decide then.
I think that's a win.
They very, very, in very military, precise style, turn and march away.
Well, I suppose we have a week then to deal with this weevil problem.
That worked quite well.
Yeah. Has anyone seen a weevil before? I don't know if I've ever seen a weevil.
No. But I'm sure I can kill many, many weevils.
Yeah, I ask somebody local here, anybody I can grab out of the crowd, and I say, where are your farms? Where are these weevils? Maybe we can help.
So it sounds.
Or who's in charge around here anyway?
They point you to the village head woman, the town head woman. They call. You'd be looking for Zola. She's over there.
All right. Well, do we want to talk to Zola? She might be the one.
But we're not
She could
fixing
point us at weevils.
We want to get paid for doing this, right?
No, we're doing this out of charity. We're good, law-fearing folk. No, of course we want to get paid. Well, it's labor, you know. We're not doing things out of charity.
Well, let's go see what Zola has to say.
One of the sayings from my homeland is the only thing better than getting paid for doing the right thing is having 2 people pay you to do the right thing.
Ah.
Is our homeland full of such witticisms?
It's full of many, many wonderful things.
All right. Well, enlighten us as we go along.
Let's go find this person.
She's just she's still standing in the middle of the crowd, trying to get them to settle down now that the Marquisate have left the.
I know with the other three, because I just said I'm not talking to the head person here.
Oh,
I just realized I'm the only person that has a positive charm.
Yeah, you're the arbiter.
With a 1.
But yeah, I do. Morning does look at Jeem as if to say like, "Go on."
Yeah, I'm already enough trouble with the Marquisate.
Oh no.
Oh, there it is.
Oh no, that lasted 20 minutes this time. Aw, poor Rob. Poor Rob. Just...
Where is he located? Is he in the UK?
Yeah, in the UK.
Okay. What was the issue he was having earlier? I caught something on in the email. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, his computer is just old and breaking down. He was having the same problems yesterday. I was running a game for StreamYard as well, and he had the same problems. Like
He just keeps Brexiting.
Oh,
yeah.
Too soon?
Yeah.
You say too soon, but there might be another bloody extension, and it'll just keep going and going for time immemorial. It might not even happen. Who knows? Ugh.
Be 100
Anyway.
years from now and still be saying if Brexit happens or not.
Like the third, they've unearthed a third Boris Johnson clone who's gonna keep doing this, keep pushing this along. Ugh.
I just assume it's either a weird play that's going on or a re-release of Yes Prime Minister.
But yeah, Rob's been having computer problems.
we might want to take a break too, just as it's like a group break. Wouldn't mind grab some water or something and coming back in 5.
Yeah, I'll message that in the chat.
Okay, yeah, I'll be back.
All right.
All right. I'm just going to turn my camera off and see if that improves things. So when I last left you guys, you were talking about going to talk to the Zola. Philip, you're muted.
Oh, still can't hear you, Philip.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Yes, we're going to go try to talk to the headswoman and get some more information.
Okay. So who's taking point with that?
Apparently me, because I'm the only positive person with any charm. So we've got a 0, a -1, and -1. So that means the 1 is king. So yes, I'm going to go try to talk to her.
All right. So what you're talking to? She's an important figure in the denizens faction.
Oh,
so you would be rolling with your reputation.
Yeah. So yeah, anybody else but me then.
Well, everybody has 0 reputation with everybody right now because none of you have crossed the thresholds that give you a negative or minus, so, negative or positive. So,
what is that threshold?
So on I believe it's when you hit 5 prestige or 5 notoriety.
Only 3 notoriety.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. So
So
every 5 gives you a +1, and every 3 on notoriety gives you a -1. Is that right?
I think if you go over, because I'm looking at the character sheet, and
yeah, it's every three below will give you a minus, and every 5 above will give you every 3 notoriety gives you a minus, and every 5
gives you plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that means Morning and I are out.
I'll go ahead and speak to her then. I don't have a problem with it. I walk up to her. What was her name?
Zola.
Walk up to Zola and I say, Zola, it appears you have a problem here. You've got weevils, you have a populace to feed, and you've got the marquisate breathing down your neck. Perhaps we can help. We might be able to get rid of those weevils. We have a specialist, in fact, who knows just how to get rid of those weevils if you point the way.
Okay. So roll with. So did you roll?
Not yet. So what am I rolling?
You're rolling your reputation, which I believe is 0.
Okay, so just a flat roll. Okay. I'm going to use these. I like these bright green dice. I'll just use those. Go. Roll. That's not a good roll. That's a 5.
Okay. So on a miss, they've heard stories about you and things you've done. True or false?
Oh, they know.
Okay. So, what are the stories? I'm just trying to think what they might have heard about you in particular, Ari.
They probably know of me dealing badly with the marquisate, and they might suspect that my involvement here is to kind of, drive screws into the marquisate rather than an altruistic, intervention.
All right. So you're gonna. I'm gonna give you basically a -1 ongoing to interactions with Zola because she recognizes you maybe from like a sketch art of you from like known agitator or something like that.
Fits the description pretty well.
So she looks at you with a sort of narrow gaze, and we don't want trouble with the Marquisate. We just want we just want to be left alone. We don't need you to come in here and rile them up and maybe make things worse.
Well, we don't want to make things worse, but they are going to come back in a week, and you have a problem feeding your people, and you don't seem to have a solution for those weevils. So what are you going to do?
So yeah, you're trying to persuade her. So give me now. You can make a roll on your charm.
Oh, you guys don't want me to do that. Okay, well, I have a -1 charm. Oh, just barely. I got a 7 total.
Okay. So on a 7, they're gonna want you to. They're gonna want a concrete plan of what you're. Actually, I'll say it. Look, if you have an idea for how to fix things, then let's hear it.
Oh yeah, we're practically made of ideas, and I turn to the other 3, waiting for one of them to step up.
I suggest we kill the weevils. All of the weevils.
Did we figure out like how big weevils are?
Actually, you know what? Killing the weevils would help, but it won't solve the problem. See, this is only the latest in a series of vandalism. I believe I believe somebody has been tampering with our equipment and with our supplies. If I didn't know you, Mr. Brin, from the notice that we got, I would suspect that you were with that band of mercenaries that's out in the forest in between here in Blackpaw's Dam.
Mercenaries? Me? I travel alone or with small groups. Couldn't possibly have been me.
Well, I'm pretty sure that that band of mercenaries out there, you got a leader by the name of Jasper. I think they're behind the sabotage that's been going on. You can get rid of them, and maybe we can start picking things up around here. We wouldn't need any help from either the Irie, because they've been in touch too, or the Marquisate, who you just saw.
I'm kind of looking to the other 3 to see if we're getting a positive response off of this.
Have any of us ever heard of a mercenary named Jasper?
I don't know. Why don't you? There isn't really a knowledge roll of any kind. So
Would this be maybe just a luck roll or something like that?
sure, give me a luck roll. Trust fate. Maybe you've come by. You just happen to have come by that information somehow.
6. I'm -1, so.
No, never heard of it.
Yep. Clear that. Clear dice. Okay. Maybe somebody else has? Other people?
Well, it sounds like this Jasper fellow, if he's trying to do something with the small town here, that's not really worth much. I guess I don't think he's probably that big of a deal. He'd be going after some bigger target if he was. I think we could handle him easily.
Well, it's preferable to cleaning up after weevils. Just, it's a bit base, isn't it? When Morning says that, they give Jeem a look as if they're like, "Oh, this is your wheelhouse, beating
Okay.
people up."
I don't see anything wrong with it. I think there's probably more of a reward, to bring home Jasper than there is to kill some weevils.
Yes. Speaking of rewards, actually, and I think Morning kind of peers over Brin's shoulder.
Yes, I almost forgot. Rewards.
I have a small cache of funds that I could pay you out of, providing you get rid of the mercenaries.
How big could you, with your hands, could you show me how big this pile is?
So she rolls her eyes. She goes. She basically makes the shape of like a pouch with her hands, like the size of a pouch, like a coin pouch. About that much. And in game terms, what she would be giving you basically is a pouch of 5 decay. So you'd be able to replenish your general decay tracks from that, and also or just use it to pay for things.
I think Morning's kind of like just nods vigorously over Brin's shoulder and so like, "Oh, that's a good start. It's a very good start."
Yes, it's a good start. We'd rather have that pouch in a medium or large, but if small is all you have, then I suppose we'll have to settle for it.
So you'll do it then.
I'm in. What about the rest of you?
I'm in.
I'm in.
Sure.
All right. Well, once you get back and you have dealt with that problem, I'll need proof that you've dealt with it. I don't really care what the proof is, as long as it passes. Once that's done, we can talk about you maybe helping with the rest of the problems.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure we'd be delighted to help.
Yes.
Yes,
One problem at a time.
Well, I gotta get back to keeping these fools from doing something rash.
Can you point us in the direction of Jasper?
She points towards the forest to the north.
We can start with that. I guess I turn around and start to walk north.
Okay. So, what are you doing to maybe find a trail? Frozen again?
No, you're fine.
So do we get the impression that Jasper's the one who's been like planting weevils around the town, or is that a different problem?
That's certainly what Zola seemed to think is the case.
Do weevils have any kind of like eggs or something that maybe would be left behind that we could try to like follow to see if we could find a trail?
So I don't know a lot about weevils personally, but I imagine that's to be the case. Yes. So,
Yeah, we can start there anyway, where fields of the weevils are chewing up.
Yeah, I just looked it up if it's any help. They chew holes into seeds or grains and deposit eggs inside, and seal up the opening, leave the eggs behind.
That's I wouldn't say cruel. That's just what they do. But still.
Once fully grown, the adult weevil eats its way out of the grain or seed.
Yeah, let's look at like the northernmost fields next to the forest.
Yep. This is a problem. So I think you could also you could go with luck again. Trust fate.
Is this for traveling or for just kind of looking?
You know what? I'm just gonna say, yeah, you can find clues that will lead you to in the right direction, and you do just a traveling roll, which is, I believe, you're traveling through the forest because the trail that you find will lead you into the forest, which is where you've been told Jasper keeps his camp. So how traveling rolls work is it's you roll plus an amount of decay. So you collectively mark decay to represent how many resources you're spending on traveling rolls. If you mark as a group fewer decay than the number of vagabonds in the group, which is 4, then you're rolling with -1. If you mark equal decay to if basically you mark 4, you're rolling +0. For each additional decay marked, you get a +1.
I see. And one person rolls this, and we collectively decide to add more decay if we want to spend more than 1 each.
Yeah.
Are we going to spend a lot more decay than we would potentially get?
How much did we say we get paid?
5.
Wasn't it to do 4 decay? 5?
Yeah.
And if we all together do 4, then that's only 1 that we're getting paid equivalent. So I think.
Yeah, and you're forgetting the return trip.
Oh yeah. So
you're spending 8 without bonuses.
Well, the thing is, if we all we have to do is just spend 1 each, and we'll roll with a +0.
Yeah, let's just do that, I think. Unless someone else wants to add more.
And remember, she did say if you deal with this problem for them, they might, that'll you'll earn trust with them basically for them to give you more work to do and more cash basically.
Right.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go with 1.
Yeah, I'll go with 1 as well.
So who's gonna roll?
What's the skill associated with it?
There's no skill. It's just how much how many resources you're spending.
Okay.
I marked off 1. Does someone want to roll this?
I'll roll.
Go for it.
Submit.
Okay, so is everybody spending 1 or?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yep. So +0. Well, I got a 10, so it's fine.
Nice.
Okay, so on a hit, you make your way safely.
Nice. I think during that trip, Morning's complaining that that it would be nice to take less jobs that involve having to get into fights. And they were very looking forward to having to study this weevil problem and conduct experiments into grain integrity and whatnot. So the transit is largely safe, but they had room to complain.
Well, Morning, I think maybe we can deal with that next. I mean, the weevils won't just magically vanish if we take care of this. So if we get back, do the job, we can convince them. Maybe we can take care of the weevils, get some more payment.
I guess. But first we have to get through the old beating up mercenaries thing. And I thought we were beyond that at this point.
Well, we could kind of slip in and out, and all we need is their leader. After all, we just need proof, right? Don't have to deal with every one of the mercenaries.
Yeah, speaking of proof, how exactly are you going to extract this proof from this Jasper fella?
Well, there's 4 of us. Surely 4 of us can carry 1 Jasper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not carrying anybody.
Well, 3 of us then.
Yeah.
I think Jeem could probably carry Jasper up by himself.
I could
Catch him and throw him over his shoulder.
I don't want to though. You'll help.
Yeah, exactly. You'll help.
Yeah. I'm sure, and we might just need a piece of Jeem. Just need a piece of Jasper, and we'll see. Maybe as something unique. We'll play it by ear.
No, unless Jasper's like lizard folk like you, we can't really just cut off his tail and it'll regrow. It'll be.
We'll figure it out. We always do.
Maybe we can make him write a confession, and get him to sign it. Although if we can make him do that, we'll probably just do that ourselves. Then
We just need his handwriting.
Or his hand.
Yes.
Options, too many options.
Well, as we get closer, we can see how many friends he brought with him, and whether or not we can just grab him in the middle of the night.
Well, either way, let's do this with a minimum of fuss so we can get back as soon as possible and deal with things that don't involve wading into danger.
Yeah, once we get close enough, my character has a move I'd like to do for getting in there.
Ooh.
Good.
So yeah, you trek into the forest for most of the day. And it's getting towards nightfall when you can spot up ahead, up in the woods ahead. You see a light which looks like a campfire, and you hear the raised voices of rowdy laughter and just people having a fun time.
I think I'd like to get in closer to kind of listen in and see what's going on. Does anyone want to go with me? Or should I do this by myself? I will do it by myself then.
I take the time that he's sneaking in to put on my armor, just in case I need it.
So I'm going to do a temp roguish feat to sneak. Basically, I want to sneak close enough that I'm right there so I could listen to what and observe what they're doing, get information.
Okay. You just see the move.
And I also have a character move called Silent Pause. When I do that roguish feat, I can mark exhaustion to choose one fewer item from the list. If I want.
All right.
Yeah.
So you'd be rolling with finesse then.
Yes, with finesse. What is my finesse? 2. All right. Roll these green dice again.
Wait.
Oops,
Remember to put in your character should have a weapon skill. So.
Oh, sorry. Come again.
Your characters should all have at least one weapon skill. So.
Oh, I need to look that up. Disarm, blind, improvise, quick shot. Parry, disarm.
Rangers.
What do you have? What does Jeem have? Jeem, sorry. What do you have, Jeem? Or did you not take one yet?
Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
I have an ability called Cleave.
Okay, so you got Cleave. I'm just trying to pick something here that's going to complement you.
It's associated with your weapon. Only some weapons can have certain things.
Oh, okay, all right. I've got a longsword. What would be?
Let's see, a longsword.
Special moves, parry.
Foxfolk and steel. Let's see. Ignore the first box of decay for each scene with that one, and your special move for that is parry. And then a longbow, you can have harry. And I'm not sure what that one is.
Yeah, could someone tell me what that is real quick? Harry and parry.
Okay,
You know what?
so
Look at it. I can see it. Parry attacks an enemy at close range. Okay, parry's self-explanatory. What about harry? Mark decay and roll with cunning. I see. Cunning versus finesse. So my thing is finesse. So I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to go with parry.
All right.
Where's that? Where did I put that in?
yeah. Okay, so give me a finesse roll to get up the get up close.
All right. So I'm going to just pull out some new dice and make them silver. Wow. 14 total.
Okay. So on a 14, yeah. Okay. So on a 10 plus, you pick one from the list.
Mm-hmm.
You're attempting roguish feats.
Yeah, and I'm going to mark exhaustion so that it basically removes that. that is over here on my character. Silent pause. You're adept at slipping into and out of dangerous situations, right? So I'm going to take 1 exhaustion, so I get a clear path out. And so, yeah, does that mean I'm right there, kind of listening in?
Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah, you get right up close to the camp in a position where you can look and see what's going on. It seems like they're just having a little celebration. It seems. They're celebrating getting paid.
That may mean more money for us. Do I catch anything else that might be useful information before I head back?
So I think read a tense situation.
Right. Read a tense situation with cunning. All right. Let's try it. My cunning is 1.
I'll give you a +1 to that because you rolled. You snuck so well.
Okay, and so that gives me +2. That's 13 total. So
Okay.
I'm going to ask. Who's in control here? I get to ask 3 of these. So I definitely want to have that one. So we know who the leader is. Do you want to answer these as I ask them, or should I?
No, I'll answer them.
Okay.
So who's in control here? You see there is one member of the group in particular who's sort of just sitting just separate from the rest of the group, is just watching and enjoying the rest of the group having a good time. He's a badger. He's got some leather armor and a sort of very distinctive curved blade with a sort of design of some sort on it, sort of floral design on it. And he's got a scar across one eye. And just the way that he holds himself, you believe this to be the leader of this group.
Okay.
So this is probably Jasper.
Okay. What is this group here as a whole? What is most vulnerable to me about this group?
What is most vulnerable to you about this group is that they're drinking from sort of bottles of what you presume to be mead or some form of alcoholic beverage. So they're getting kind of drunk, and they're going to be sloppy and not as attentive as they should be, perhaps.
And what should I be on the lookout for? It's my last question.
You should be on the lookout for. You notice just out of the corner of your eye something or someone moving in the shadows outside of just outside of the firelight. There's somebody patrolling who's not involved in the.
I see. Maybe perhaps the most sober of the group and keeping a watch.
Yeah.
Okay. With that knowledge, I creep back to let my companions know what's going on.
So basically, if we just sit tight here and let them drink themselves into oblivion, we'd have a better chance.
As long as we take out the one watchman.
Well, one
And if-
watchman seems fine if the rest are blithering drunks.
And if Jasper's kind of sitting out on his own, maybe we can just, if they're going to be distracted with drinking, we can just go right up and take him.
Maybe a 1-2 punch. Maybe one of us or two of us, we split and take care of the watchman, and the other two snatch Jasper, and then we bail out.
I'm game for that. I'm not the most subtle, but if I get my hands on something.
Yeah, so if we wait too long, they might drink themselves to sleep, but it also will be more quiet. Right now, there's quite a bit of noise and singing that's giving us a bit of cover.
Well, then let's get a move on then. I would like to get this done and get back and perhaps get to bed.
It's a tall order. We might be sleeping in the woods tonight, but
I've got a special ability called Improvise Weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Here, where is it? This may or may not apply, but I figured I would ask. It allows me to. When you improvise a weapon, you get to dictate the range tag and one additional tag on a hit. The GM dictates the weakness tag on a 7 to 9. But there are on the weapon moves, there are grapple. Let's see. We've got special. We can blind somebody. We can murder somebody. But or potentially grapple somebody. So if we can come up, maybe I can improvise a lasso or something that we could put around the Jasper and basically drag him out.
Yeah, I have a move that is let's see what it's called. Disappear into the dark, where I can slip into the shadows and then come out. So you could improvise the tool to grab him, and I can get up and kind of get it around him without anybody noticing.
Do those work like that? I think, if so, that might be using our head rather than our brawn.
So what was that again?
I've got a special ability called Improvise Weapon.
Yep.
It's under Weapon Master, where you can improvise a weapon and you get to dictate the range tag and one additional tag on the hit, and potentially using something for a grapple weapon. So the idea would be like a lasso or something like that, and then we can use Oxley's what is it?
Disappear into the dark.
Sorry, disappear into the dark. When you slip in the shadows, and as long as you remain quiet, basically it's to get out of there. So the idea would be, if we could create a weapon that can grapple, we can put it around Jasper, use it, and then disappear into the dark with him before they know what hit him.
Okay.
I don't know if it was designed like that, but I figure.
Yeah, well, I think for improvised weapon, it definitely has to be you that's using the weapon.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Because the skill is that you're able to improvise a weapon to do the thing.
yes. So. Actually, I think this just might be grapple an enemy just might be a skill.
Yeah, it's a normal weapon move. Grapple with an enemy at intimate range.
Yeah, you can grapple even without a weapon.
Okay, then maybe the suggestion would be just to grapple. And if so, I might take my armor off again.
Morning gives you a look as if like, I mean, we still have to, and then kind of like nods towards the watchman. It's like we still have to fight someone.
Yep.
Okay, so all right, okay, let's figure out who's going where. You, Morning points at Brin and Oxley. You're like the stealthy folk, blend into the shadows. You know, get intimate with the enemy. You'll grab Jasper, while Jeem and myself, and I pull out my smithing hammer, which is not subtle at all. We'll knock a head or two of that watchman.
That sounds good. So maybe we give you a little extra lead time. As soon as you take care of that problem, we'll take care of our problem. Or do we do it at the same time? We don't want the watchman to see this happening because he'll raise the alarm. So
Yes.
If the plan with the watchman fails, then that'll alert everyone to the fact that we're there, and then we won't have a chance to grab Jasper. So we need to do kind of both at the same time.
Yeah. Or you could turn it into a distraction as a plan B. If you try to take the watchman out and it fails, you can make a lot of noise in that direction, and we'll grab Jasper and go the other way and rendezvous with you.
That's a big if. If that's a big if failing, because we've got, and again I point at Jeem. Like,
Oh yeah, you won't fail. We know you won't fail. But just to be thorough,
Always have a plan D.
Jeem, you're muted.
I might fail.
Hypothetically.
Odds are good, but I've failed before.
You are far too honest for your own good.
Oh, this plan sounds perfect. Or as close to perfect as we're going to get.
I'll just grab him. I think we should just grab him and put him in a bag. That's basically my plan.
So we both have the same plan, basically.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
But I think I'll go hit very hard the watchman.
Right. So we're splitting off to do our plans.
Yeah, I show them the route since I've already traveled this way. I show them the way to the layout looks. I kind of draw it on the ground with a stick, and I say, yeah, this is how far he is from here, and that's where he's sitting. Blah blah blah, all that.
Okay.
So we arrive at where we're supposed to, hopefully.
All right.
Right. So yeah, you lead them back to the bandit camp, and basically they can see the area that you were at before.
All right. I think Morning kind of like nods. This all seems all right. And then me and Jim are going to head off to beat up the watchman.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. There isn't really group roles. So who's going ahead here?
Morning is not.
Okay. So Jeem would be the one that needs to roll finesse here for the...
You can help or interfere, though, Leon.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. But I'm not going in front.
Maybe just point out branches I could potentially step on.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'm a bird. I'm used to a bird's eye view. That's a bad justification for that. But yeah. I'll mark exhaustion to give you that +1.
All right, and I will try to. Let's see. There. 2d6. 10.
10. All right. So you're able to get up close to the watchman. It seems to be from the tail that's poking out of the long sort of green cloak that this person is wearing. You can tell that they're a squirrel. And they're just sort of watching the camp. They don't look particularly interested in what's going on there.
I guess I will try to use the flat of my blade and knock the squirrel unconscious.
Okay. So it's definitely a weapon move.
Let's see.
To grapple an enemy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
it's just reflavored grapple. Let's see. So that's with might. Let me do that. Clear. Yes. Seven.
Okay. So you're both going to choose options simultaneously.
Let's see. See, on a 7 to 9, you choose simultaneously. Let's see. I wear them down, or I inflict injury. I guess I will exploit weakness, so I'll mark an exhaustion to inflict 2 injury.
Okay. So you inflict 2 injury. And so like the squirrel sort of just slips out from beneath from your grip, because they're using the withdraw and disengage to close range.
Okay.
But doing that, they cut themselves on your sword while they were doing it.
All right.
And they leap back and they are about to call out for to alert the camp. What'd you do?
I guess I no longer try to be nice to him, so I just swing on him, sword to sword.
Okay.
So yeah. Let's see.
Roll plus might.
Yep. Oh, sorry. I forgot to put the little 2 in there. Jeez. 7 again. Okay. On a 7 to 9, I pick 1. I inflict serious harm.
Okay.
So he's already injured with 2. So
So on a 7 to 9, you're also going to receive harm. So what what happens is that you do that, but you also find that there's he's slashed you with a dagger, and you're gonna take 1 injury and 2 exhaustion as you feel everything sort of goes a bit blurry, and you feel a little bit sick.
Okay. So that I am now at 4 exhaustion, which is my max.
Yeah.
So what does that mean from a mechanics standpoint?
From a mechanics standpoint, it means that until you can clear that exhaustion, any move that you attempt to make will automatically fail.
Okay. I can just remove my armor, and that clears 1 exhaustion.
Uh-huh.
So. All right. So that rabbit's dead.
I see Jeem removing his armor and so like, but is this what you do after you beat someone?
Yes. I always do.
Well, that's very confident of you.
So we were sort of going for like PG-13 or so. So we're not murdering people, or are we?
No, I think just knock him out and put him in the bag.
Okay.
Basically, take him out of the scene with us.
All right.
They're knocked out.
So back to the other 2. What are you doing?
So I think maybe the plan is we sneak up and I put a scarf around him and then threaten, use like a knife or something to threaten him, to see if he will come with us without making any noise. Unless you want to try just like grabbing him and using force to just pull him out.
Okay, so again, you're gonna need to roll with finesse to engage in roguish feats, just to get up that close.
Well, I have the move disappear into the dark, where I can slip into the shadows unnoticed, and then spend the hold to reveal myself from a darkened place suddenly without warning.
Oh, did you have to roll to get the hold though? So
no, I just mark exhaustion.
Oh, okay. So you can just mark exhaustion.
So
All
1 exhaustion. And I'm gonna get up close behind him, and I have a scarf, and I'm just gonna like wrap a scarf around his mouth real quick so he can't make any sound, and hold my dagger up to his throat. And I'm trying to like let him know that if he yells or does anything, then I'm gonna hurt him. So
okay,
I guess that's NPC probably.
So give me. I believe you're trying to persuade with threats. So roll plus charm.
All right.
What's your charm?
It's a 0, so that's a 7.
As soon as 9, they aren't sure. The GM will tell you what things to do. Swing them. You're gonna have to make some show of strength here, just to make him believe that you're gonna follow through if he doesn't cooperate, or that you can follow through.
Is like the guard that they took out anywhere nearby and that would be visible from this point? If I pointed him out.
The guard was specifically staying just outside the visible range of the firelight, so that they wouldn't be seen. It's just that you were, particularly good at spotting them.
I'm going to. I think I'm just gonna cut maybe his arm or something with the knife a little bit, so he knows that I'm serious about doing damage if he does something bad, if he does something wrong.
What do you want? Oh, you can't eat.
I say, listen, be really quiet, and I'll let loose a little bit, but don't say anything loud, or I'll do this. So, the plan is you come with us, and we make a deal. And I start like dragging him back, hoping that he'll follow his own free will.
Okay. So I think he'll go along with you. And then give me a trust fate roll.
Okay. Luck. That's an 11.
Okay. So there is a moment when, like, you feel that he's about to try something, but you just sort of tighten again your grip. Make it cut a bit deeper, and he stops what he was about to do.
Okay, I'm gonna try to bring him back to the kind of the meeting area where we all were before we did this.
Yeah. Can I bind his arms along the way if I'm with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to mark off decay to say that you've got ropes to do that with.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do that. Where is the decay? Where's the general decay on the character? Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay. That too. All right. Yeah. So he's trussed up as well.
So once you get him back to your campsite, basically, at this point, what do you do?
Well, nice work. We got not one but two.
Yes. Why is yours not in the bag?
Yours is in the bag?
Yeah.
Is there room for another one?
I'm not carrying two people.
He'll walk. He'll walk. If what the town elder said is true, they deserves to at least have to walk back with us. We're not carrying him.
Maybe we should talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
See what he's trying to do.
Let's walk him out of earshot, so even if he yells.
Yeah. Talk to him along the way, on the way back.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to make out an expression. Actually, you just stuffed the thing in his mouth, right?
Yeah, a scarf.
Did you cover his mouth, or did you put the scarf
stuffed
in his mouth?
and tied up around his mouth.
Okay,
just in there a bit.
So you can see like his eyes sort of. You can see his cheek sort of, puffing up, with a bit of a smile.
Yeah, I kind of let the binding down and pull the stuffing out. Once we're far enough out, we're walking back, and then Just let him talk a bit, see what he's got to say. If you lie, this goes back in.
You're not going to get away with this.
Get
Seem
away
to be
with
doing
what?
well so far.
The whole plan was to get you.
And once my men figure out that I'm missing, what do you suppose they're going to do?
I don't know. They seem to be
We've seen your men. They're not going to do much.
Well, how good of a leader did you think of yourself? Because without them, they're either without a good leader, or without you, they now have a better leader.
Well, without me, they'd be a bit lost, and they wouldn't be able to find as good opportunities. So I think they'll try and help me out.
Why are you doing this? What do you get out of this besides the money? Or is that all of it?
Money, comforts. Useful friends.
Well, we might be able to talk the townspeople to go a little easy on you if you give us information that we can provide.
Oh, I'm afraid that I can't discuss who I work for. Kind of breaks the code, you know.
Yeah, it would, but when we take you back, they might not go so easy on you. We're asking
And
nicely.
my men won't go so easy on them.
We're here to get paid to do the job. What happens afterwards is the town's business. You really just have one shot here. You can tell us, and we can try to help you out, make things a little bit easier. Or you just have to trust yourself to the townspeople.
Or we could just put them in the bag.
Yeah, that bag is vacancy for one only, and right now it's occupied. You don't want to go into that bag.
All right, so
Kind of like trying to, I don't know if it's intimidate or trick. It sounds more like trick, maybe. I'm not sure.
Or persuade.
well, you're kind of trying to.
Yeah, we're just trying to get him to talk.
Yeah. So.
Or even figure someone out.
Figure someone out.
Feeling, we're trying to figure out who their allies are. I mean, I think that's what we were trying to do, right?
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We're trying to figure out who he's associated with. I think that he's working for the Marquisate, but I want to hear him say it.
Well, what we can do is we can threaten to turn him into the Marquisate or the town and watch his reaction to see which one he would prefer to be turned over to.
Oh, there you go. Maybe you finish off with that, and then we kind
That
of.
would be a trick.
Yeah. You want to run, Philip?
Yeah, I will just walk up and I will go. There are three options. One, I put you in this bag. The bag is just a metaphor. I'll put you in the bag. Two, I'm going to turn you over to the town. Or three, we're going to turn you over to the Marquette. Now, where do you think you should go?
So
and I want to try to read his reaction.
Roll to trick an NPC.
Okay, what one is that? Let's see. Trick is
That's with cunning.
Cunning. Let's see. Where am I with cunning? 1. Okay, that's not awful. So 8.
Okay.
Let's see.
So they, I think he's going to stumble. So what? Well, basically, he does what you want, and he gives you a tell. You say the bag. He's amused. You say the town. He's still amused. Like he doesn't really fear the wrath of the townsfolk that much. You say the Marquisate. He's worried.
Okay. I go, I think we have our answer. And I scruff him and put a blindfold on him. And I just start walking him and don't tell him where we're taking him just to see if we can get him to panic. And I turn around and I kind of look to everybody else and go, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yes, I want to know exactly where he got those weevils.
I'm thinking that the only thing better than getting paid is getting paid by 2 people.
Well, it's an interesting idea. How to implement it? Perhaps I kind of look him over. Is he carrying anything that we could provide as proof? Maybe his clothes. I mean, we could take his shirt, or you said he was wearing armor, right? Earlier.
Yeah,
He had a very nice sword, right?
He's also got the sword that has a very distinctive design to it.
Right. So we could take the sword and take that to the town as proof that we've got him.
Yep.
And then take him physically to the Marquisate to get paid.
Yep.
Maybe we set up a deal with the Marquisate before we take him there. As it hasn't been captured.
I think we just keep the sword, and then we try to potentially sell the sword, and we just bring him to the Marquisate.
Oh, I see. You think the sword is worth more than the reward from the town?
No, I meant like we can always bring the sword to the town and just say he's off the battlefield. Here's your proof.
Then we sell it. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, yeah. It's the cartoon equivalent of giving him his head.
So we're like war profiteers, basically. It's pretty terrible, or something like that.
Professionals.
Scoundrels.
Professionals in a world that dictates that we need to be a little bit creative.
Okay.
I think I just roll my eyes at Oxley and say, all these politics are beyond me.
So
yeah, his tail is twitching.
Let's I guess we start let's torture him a little bit. Let's not tell him where we're going and just walk him to the Marquisate.
What about the squirrel?
Yeah, why did we bring along this squirrel?
Well, just because he's the only one that could immediately run back and describe who we were, how many we were, point us out. Right now, it's just a mystery.
Right.
And,
and to be clear, I don't know if we were like asked this or not, but I would have been like, this would have been hush hush. We wouldn't be like want our prisoners to hear all of these plans and things.
Yeah.
Would be weird to just let them know that.
I think we should take the other person and just bring them somewhere pretty far out there. Let them go. It takes them time to get back to where they were, and in the meantime, we've done our job.
Well, especially if we can we do something that
we could turn them both into the Marquisate if we're going to turn in.
We can speak positively about the Marquisate over the bag, so he thinks we are from the Marquisate, not from the town, and take the pressure off the town. If they want to attack a military garrison, go for it. I'd much rather not. I don't want them to necessarily attack an unarmed village, but if they want to attack the fort, You know.
Yeah, we could let him go after we've convinced him that we're going to the Marquisate.
It would just be truthful. We're not even lying.
And if you're not even lying, I'm not going to ask you to roll to trick them again.
Should we turn the sword in first to get that reward? Or
Yeah.
do you want to save
Well,
that?
well, look, there's 4 of us. You folks can take Big Guy to the Marquisate, and other folks can take the sword to the town, and we don't have to keep clumping around like a party.
Right.
And by the time the guy gets back to the town, back to the village to tell him that we're with the Marquisate, you can drop off the sword and then meet us back there.
Mm-hmm.
Is this our plan?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Your Woodland politics are so interesting.
You know, I think after all that talking, Morning's just like, to think studying weevils would have been far less complicated than any of this.
True.
That is still a job opportunity.
Yes, we can still defeat weevils. Many, many weevils.
I have some notoriety with the Marquisate, so I think I'm going to go to the town instead.
Yeah, same. I think the two of us should do the town.
Yep. I'm slightly positive, not positive enough to gain anything with the Marquisate, but I've worked with them before, and I don't have any negative.
Yeah, I have nothing with the Marquisate, but I'm bad at the town.
So Morning and I will go to the Marquisate, and you guys will go to the town, and then swing by and meet us at the Marquisate.
Yes, and we'll be filthy rich, or wealthier than yesterday.
Yes. Or at least cover what we've already decayed.
Which isn't much, but it's still good.
Yeah, it was 4 and then 1, so yeah, so we're basically just breaking even with the town.
So let's deal with the town first. So, who was going back to the town? It was
me and Brin.
okay. So let's go with Oxley and Brin.
Yeah. So all we have is a sword, right? Yeah.
Yep.
You're gonna let that prisoner go sometime along your route to the Marquise.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to handle this, Oxley? The dealing with the.
All right. Yeah.
All right. I'll back you up. I've got the sword in my hand, and you can do the talking.
So can I find? I forgot what her name was.
It was Zola.
Zola. Am I able to find her?
Yeah, she's in her hut.
All right. I'll go up to Zola and say, "We did the thing. We got the stuff. Here's the sword as proof."
All right. So she takes the sword from you and just sort of examines it. I heard that he'd stolen a weapon from the Marquisate. One of their bigwigs, Sir something.
Well,
Sir Marston.
That's a problem for the Marquisate. Our job was to deal with him, take care of your brigand, and we have, and here's the proof of it.
He won't be bothering you anymore. Normal weevils, definitely.
Right. Well, and she goes and retrieves a bag that she's had ready for you, which is the the gold that was promised. I think for she will also give you this. She will also let you keep the sword if you want.
Yes, that would be lovely.
Okay.
And if the weevils still trouble you, perhaps we might be interested in more work.
Weevils don't just disappear overnight, as after all.
So, we could certainly use some help with that, and there will be a little more coin in it for you.
Sounds good to us.
So you go back to the. We're going to deal with the Marquisette now, but I'll tell you how this, how you get rewarded overall after that conversation.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So, you're approaching the Marquisette have a camp not far outside the town. Obviously, you know they've got their representatives there trying to entice the town into joining. So they're waiting in camp just outside of the clearing. What's your reputations like with the Marquisette? I think you're neutral.
Yeah, positive 2, so that's not enough to be anything.
Right. Okay, so the guards, the guards at the garrison, that are at the front of the tent, because I think they've got like one of these big, tents set up as a operating base. They stop you at the door to the tent. Do you have business here?
We do. Did we get the name of the person that was commanding when he was in the town? Did we overhear it?
You not at the point that you came in. You didn't hear him say his name.
All right, I say we know that you're working with the town to bring your helpful nature to this town, and we've brought something that might help you, and you might be interested in. Can we speak with your commander?
Okay, so one of them, they exchange a look. One of them goes inside. You hear them talking to somebody inside the tent, and then they come back out, and you're told to wait.
Okay.
And a short time later, the cat that you saw earlier comes back out. I'm Captain Tondrick. I'm told that you have something of interest to the Marquisette.
I do. I go, is this something that you would want? And I yank the prisoner just up out of the bag to hold him up.
Oh, the outlaw Jasper.
Yes. Jasper, say hi. So, this guy been bothering you?
Yes, he has been a problem for the Marquisette in the past.
I figured he looked that problem type. I've done some work for the Marquisette before, and he just looked like riffraff. So what is what has he done? What did you do, Jasper? What did you do?
Well, among other things, he broke into the home of one Sir Marston and stole family heirloom.
Sir Marston, a family heirloom. That is just not done. I go, what did he steal?
A sword.
Sword.
Oh, so this family heirloom, probably very precious sword. You wouldn't be looking for that as well, would you?
If you can find it, then you would be rewarded most handsomely for its return.
So is there a bounty on this one while we go look for the sword?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
And he pays you the 5 gold. And you are promised the same on return of the sword.
we will make sure that we find this sword. Morning, I think I know where we should go looking for the sword.
Ooh, well, given that we're such a fine duo, I think we'll find that sword in no time.
I think so.
Of course, Morning is saying that, knowing that they did absolutely nothing in this entire adventure, but they're fine.
I figure we can. Let's walk back and potentially buy the sword. We have more gold, so.
Well, we haven't sold it. We haven't sold the sword. We've got it.
We don't know that yet.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah, we assume the town has the sword, so we're gonna potentially have to go buy the sword back,
Yeah, it's like,
or rob the town.
It's like, I have to deal with those townsfolk again. Well, if they let me look at their weevils, maybe we can make an arrangement.
Yep. Well, our friends are going to be here shortly. Let's we can hang out here. You know, I'd rather hang out close by the fort rather than alone in the woods, just in case that rabbit's very quick.
Damn rabbits. Anyway, so while we're waiting, tell me more about. You got any more witticisms in you?
Yes. Apparently, in the Woodlands, the only thing better than selling it to 2 people is to selling it to 3 people. So we'll find out if we might be lucky enough to do that. So I've learned a lot here with you, with fine woodland creatures.
Were we supposed to meet you at the Marquisate?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Well, to speed things along, because we're coming close to the end, maybe we just show up and we're going to have the sword with us, so we can wrap up that last bit of business.
Yeah.
I'm ranting about the chemical composition of mead as you come by.
Right. Well, I say, well, look who it is. Have you closed up your end of the deal? We certainly have.
We have. Do you know where the town is keeping the sword?
Oh, you mean this sword here? And we present it to you.
This is a good day. Turns out there's a reward for Jasper and a separate reward for the sword.
How fortuitous.
Yep. So I think that we can definitely drop this off and be seen in a very positive light with these marquisets.
Yeah, so I hand over the sword, and if you want to cinch up that last bit, since you're in with the Marquisate, they don't like me.
Sure. So I guess a very relatively short time has passed, and I walk back to the Marquisate, and I go, now that we know that the sword is actually valuable, it's something that we'd have to go pick up. And here you go.
Quick work. I appreciate that.
We're very efficient. If there's other work that you need, we'd be more than happy to work with you.
I'll keep that in mind, Mr.
Jeem.
Jeem.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind, Jeem. You can add +1 Actually, no. Make it +2. Prestige.
Nice.
Is this for all of us?
The ones that he's dealt with, so that would
Okay.
mostly be.
That would be Jeem and Morning.
Yeah.
Did we earn prestige back at the town?
Yeah, you'll earn prestige one prestige with the denizens.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. All worked out nicely.
Yes.
So how much total do we each get from this poll?
So you basically got 15 decay, but you basically spent about 5 or 6 decay, so probably about 9.
Nice.
Oh, so we earned 9,
Yes.
to remove. Okay.
So does our max go up, or how does that work? Or
So what it is you would add, say, somebody marked down in their notes in their inventory that they have bags of cash equal to 9 decay, and then you can just mark decay off of that when you.
Oh, I see.
okay.
So one person, doesn't matter who it is, right?
Yeah.
You want to grab it, Philip? Keep track of it?
Yeah, and then I think we all offset all the decay we had, so we go back to 0.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we're back at 0 decay for everyone.
Yeah.
And I've got a special ability, Hardy, which is whenever you journey, you clear 1 injury box. So would that have been from the back to the Marquisette?
Yeah.
Let's see. 9 decay. All right.
And exhaustion clears 1 box every day. At the end of this, do we get that opportunity to clear that?
So yeah. And I'm just gonna go for the advancement thing here.
Sure.
So, so did anybody hit their drives?
I did. One of my drives is greed. You advance when you secure a serious payday or treasure.
Okay, so you get some mark in advance for that.
Ooh.
Let's see. I have justice. You advance when you pursue and achieve justice for someone deeply wronged by another powerful denizen. So the idea was to go after to help the town. And you advance when you uphold your sense of personal honor at great cost to yourself or your allies. So I don't know if we did that, but
I don't know that you because you didn't take any harm or anything, so you didn't experience any great cost to you guys. Actually, no, that you stabbed with the poison.
Yeah.
Blade, so that's kind of.
Cool. My drives are discovery. I didn't get that one. Investigate, ruin, or encounter new wonder. My second one is freedom. You advance whenever you free a group of denizens from oppression. I think the town would count for that, since the marauders were basically making their lives miserable and we got rid of them.
I'll say yes.
I have the same one.
So when you get that advancement, where does that go?
Let's just see.
Looking for.
I don't see an advancement thing on here, so just mark it in the notes at the bottom. Until
Okay.
you spent it.
Advancement +1.
Yep.
And could you get both if you achieve both?
Yep.
Yeah, you get 2, basically.
Yeah, one advancement per per drive. So.
Okay.
Is that everybody? Yeah. Okay. So, I don't think anybody wants to change the nature, drive, or connections at this point. So, we'll just call it there.
All right.
You've successfully helped the town with their problem with these mercenaries or bandits, and you also you also got some pull with the Marcus set. So
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Good game.
Nice job, everyone.
So
Yeah, nice team effort.
Before we go, we're gonna do stars and wishes. So stars are everybody familiar with stars and wishes?
Oh.
No. Okay. So stars are things that you enjoyed about the session. You know, things you want to call out. Wishes are things that you want to see maybe more of next session, or things that you're interested in seeing in the future session. So we'll start with Philip. Stars.
I guess from a stars perspective, it's nice to play a PBTA game with everybody that's participating. So that's definitely fun. And wishes, I guess, just more of the same, kind of figuring out a little bit of lore for this really strange and interesting place.
Okay, Jeremiah.
For stars, I think the whole kind of heist we pulled off was quite enjoyable. To be honest, I think for wishes, I think this is a fun session, and just more of the same kind of thing for the next session.
Nice.
Okay, Harry?
Yeah, I'll second that. Really nice that we set this plan up together, decide who's doing what, and executed it. I would have liked it actually if we rolled a little bit worse, just to see all the. But we just rolled really well. That was kind of like that. I guess would be my wish, is that we rolled a little bit badly at the right time.
Well, we know what's going to happen next week.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed seeing the plan come together, and not a double but a triple payment. That was a pretty sweet payoff.
Yeah.
But I came to this game just hoping to dive into the Quickstart and just see how the pieces work together. So for next time, I'd just like to see more of that. Just dig into any of the rules and mechanics that we didn't touch. It'd be nice to be able to get to those, since we're just doing a 2-shot for this.
Yep.
And Leandro.
Yeah, I think pretty much everyone said what I want to say. I'd like to give the opposite of a star to your computer, Rob. It's a cursed machine. But I think my star is yours. Well, look, it needs to be said. The computer. I don't care if the computer can hear it. You need to be heard. You're a cursed machine, Rob's computer. I'll say my big star. I think everyone's characters are just adorable. They're ridiculous. I think people are really playing into the weird PG-13 setting of these adorable woodland animals who are also mercenaries and soldiers and vagabonds, and the weird double triple payment thing that we just pulled off. That's great. But my big star is probably to yourself, Rob, for wrangling this all together. Apologies about your computer, but I think overcame through that. Wishes, yeah. I don't really have much else to say. Everyone said I want to keep just dig in more to what else we've not covered with this system, stuff like natures and connections. Now that we've gone through like the first session hump of like, oh, it's a new setting, new system. What's decay? What do we do this? I think we're ready now next session to be like, all right, we'll just dive in and have some more fun.
All right. And stars for me, y'all were great. Your characters all fun and interesting, and you just you came up with a really good plan, which and I'm with you in that I wish you had rolled worse, but so sometimes we have to have the first, like the first episode of a show. You want to see the characters being their best at everything, and that's what happened here. We'll get to probably you doing not so well maybe next week. Wishes. I wish my computer would cooperate a bit better. Stars again to everybody for your patience in that regard. But in honesty, wishes maybe get into a bit more lore, maybe come up with a bit more lore for the setting, because I didn't get too deep into that this session. So maybe come up with more stuff next week. And I'll give you all an opportunity to provide that as well. So yeah, good first session. Looking forward to playing with you again next week. But for now, we're going to end the broadcast here. Thank you, everybody who is potentially going to watch this in the future. And I'll see you later.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Rob.
Before everybody goes, I need to ask permission if it's okay to put this up on YouTube.
Yeah, it's fine by me.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, that's us signing off. See ya.
All right, take care.